The Warhammer 40k space on YouTube has always been this place where people can go to explore lore, engage with the community, learn about the game, or get hooked on the video games. And the community has certainly had its ups and downs and its own drama. For example, lore tubers going after one another about what is canon or what isn't canon, or what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, or meta enthusiasts constantly battling over what is the most efficient way to play the tabletop version of the game. But I'd never imagined that we'd be in a position where YouTube would effectively be directly targeting Warhammer 40k fans and going after Warhammer 40k channels. If you don't already know, right before Christmas, the Warhammer 40k lore tuber, the Remembrancer, was demonetized on YouTube. And although the Remembrancer tried to appeal YouTube's decision, they seemingly threw a bunch of nonsensical reasons at him for why his channel was demonetized. They basically called his channel an AI lore tuber channel, which is just insulting. There's certainly been a rise of AI-based Warhammer 40k channels in the space, but that's practically happening across all of YouTube. It doesn't really give them any good reason to go after Warhammer 40k fans who just want to talk about the lore and engage with the community. The alternative to all this is that the Remembrancer was demonetized because YouTube didn't like his content, even though it doesn't go against the terms of service. But that's just an insane reality that nobody wants to live in, because it would effectively mean that YouTube is just going around censoring people that they don't like. And you may think that this isn't really a big deal and that the Remembrancer can just continue to make videos to engage with the community as normal without getting paid for it. But the Remembrancer covers characters and topics that literally nobody else on YouTube is talking about. He at the very least deserves to get ad revenue from that content. And if you've never watched a Remembrancer video, now is the perfect time to go over to his channel to show him some support. I'll leave a link to his channel in a pinned comment below. The guy is effectively a voice actor who is narrating 40k lore, and speaking as someone who covers the video game industry, we pay our voice actors here. We don't rely on AI voices for our games. Typically, when there are AI voices in video games, people rage against that game, leave a bunch of negative reviews, and don't play them. So to reiterate, YouTube has effectively demonetized the Remembrancer, potentially because his content was flagged as AI content. But even so, simply having AI in your videos is not sufficient grounds to have your content be demonetized on YouTube. YouTube's official stance is that you can monetize AI-generated content on YouTube if it's original, valuable, and has transformative human input. It avoids pure automation, mass production, or spam. To even imply that the Remembrancer's content doesn't meet these guidelines or this standard is simply insulting to him, and it's also insulting to the entire fan base. It doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are about the lore or about a specific 40k topic. If you put 8 hours of work into a video and you post it and it does really well, it doesn't matter because someone at YouTube doesn't like your video. Or they've decided that they don't like a single video on your channel at all, and they've decided to completely demonetize you. You don't deserve to make any money off of your research, your hard work, your editing, your voice acting, whatever other skills that you have poured into your content. You don't deserve to make any money for it because of some extremely weird standard that isn't really even well defined. For example, what is the definition of mass production? Does this mean that you can't post 1, 2, 3 videos on your channel daily? Because I know several major YouTubers who post 3 to 5 videos on their channel every single day. This situation does nothing but discourage Warhammer fans from engaging in the YouTube space. And it's such a shame too, because the Warhammer 40k community is one of the most creative communities on the platform. Everybody in this community wants to see your artwork. Everybody here wants to see the minis that you're painting. Everybody wants to hear your take on the lore or wants to watch you play that new Warhammer 40k video game. In general, as Warhammer 40k fans, we support one another, and it's scary knowing that there are people at YouTube who just are not on the same page, whether that be through incompetence or maliciousness. What I would say is, if you're a Warhammer Fantasy or a Warhammer 40k fan, don't let this situation discourage you from going into the YouTube space and sharing your content with everybody. But maybe when you do it, and when you do get monetized for doing it, don't put all of your eggs in one basket, and maybe instead of using the YouTube memberships where YouTube gets a cut for every membership that's being paid monthly, you use something like Patreon, or maybe you try to monetize over on a different platform like Twitch or TikTok or whatever it is. At the end of the day, as Warhammer fans, we are all too familiar with corporate bullshit. We deal with Games Workshop's corporate bullshit all the time. We certainly don't want to be dealing with it over here on YouTube as well, and if our voices aren't enough to change the system or to get the Remembrancer re-monetized, then the very least that we can do is come together and show solidarity and support for them. Either way, I want to hear what you guys think about this situation in the comments below, and don't forget to share this with your friends and fellow 40k fans, because more people need to be aware of what is happening in this space. As always, subscribe for more Warhammer 40k content. This has been Jefficus, and I'll see you in-game. The Emperor protects.